No, he's in a week now.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Villa Park Village Board to order. Today is July 23rd at 7 p.m. And Clerk Konecki, please call the roll.
It's Trustee Aiello. Trustee Salela.
Here.
Trustee Kazone.
Here.
Trustee Case.
Here.
Trustee Tucker.
Here.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
President Bolthus.
Here. Let's all rise for the pledge and for a prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for Trustee Wagner has a prayer for us.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that might affect the residents, staff, businesses, surrounding communities, and all those that enter the village of Villa Park. And continue to remind us that all we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, next item on the agenda is public comments on agenda items. Clerk Konecki, do we have anybody signed in?
I have no one, Mr. President.
Thank you. Next item is amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments to the agenda from the board? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to number 5, the consent agenda. Minutes of the board meeting of July 9, 2018, and bill listing for the week of July 9th and July 16, 2018, for a total amount of $607,376.91. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda? Trustee Kazone?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion.
Second, Trustee Case?
Second.
Okay. Any questions?
We do have
Trustee
one.
Tucker?
I just wanted to know, Holy Cow Sporting Supplies, is that the group that handles all the shirts and stuff for all the summer programs? Is that what that, we've got one group that does the whole, okay.
That's for the whole year. Okay. All right, do we have a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Tucker.
Yes.
Trustee Salela.
Yes.
Trustee Kazone.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
President Bolthus.
Yes. Item 6 is the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, modifying parking restrictions near North Elementary School. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. During morning student drop-off and afternoon student pickup, buses have had difficulty entering and leaving the area around North Elementary School. As a result, staff at North Elementary School, along with representatives from the school bus company, have reached out to the village to discuss possible solutions to the traffic concerns. The proposed ordinance changes are the result of meetings between the school, the bus company, the Traffic and Safety Commission, and the village to implement the changes as an amendment to sections 14-105B, one-way streets, 14-203A and C, same restrictions for school days, 14-204B, loading zones, and 14-207, no parking zones is required. Thank you, Your Honor.
Seeing that this is just the first reading, this is just for discussion, so if any members of the board have any questions or comments on this? Trustee Ciela?
I just have a question. I'm assuming most of this, or all of it, was done in-house with in-house personnel and the Safety and Traffic Safety Commission. Is this going to be the standard process from here on out for other schools with issues without traffic studies that were done in the past by outside sources?
I know we've had traffic studies in the past. I know this has been done, traffic study here. Who is the chief handling this?
Yes, Your
Manager
Honor, Chief Lacan, yes, this was done internally through, as I mentioned, meetings between the bus company, the school, and law enforcement. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this was put in place as an emergency measure months and months ago. I believe Chief Pavlicek instituted this emergency measure, and now we're just formalizing it after last year's school term ended, and they found that this particular flow of traffic, if you will, worked best of all. And Chief Lay, would you like to add anything?
Pretty much it was put into place prior to the last school year, so it was in place for the whole school year. And we were up there monitoring it. Some adjustments were made during the beginning process when we found out that some adjustments did need to be made. So the traffic did flow more smoothly through there, and it, for the most part, seems to be working out okay. Every once in a while, there's some congestion issues which we have to address, and we deal with just like any of the other schools at the end of school time.
I guess part of my other question would be, there's other schools that have parking and traffic flow issues, and upon request of something to be done in the past, I've heard that traffic studies from outside vendors need to be part of that process in order to change that. If that's not the norm anymore, I'm just wondering if this is the new procedure. It's in-house with the police department, traffic and safety, and school board.
I know in the past there was a traffic study done at, I believe it was Ardmore School, along with discussions with traffic and safety. There was not a traffic safety done by an outside agency for the North School case. It was just done by traffic and safety.
Okay, I guess my point, being blunt about it, would be Jackson School. That's a huge concern of mine. The traffic flow there is terrible and whatnot, and something of this nature needs to be accomplished there also. And I'm wondering if this is the new procedure that needs to be followed prior to making changes in the future.
Something we can definitely look into, and we'll get traffic and safety involved. And if they determine that we need an outside agency for further study.
Oh, I'm all for doing it in-house. I have no problem with that to save the money. I'm sure we have intelligent staff that can figure this out. Obviously, we've done that here. I'm just wondering if we're removing that third-party outside source of traffic study.
Again, it would be something to be brought up at the meetings with traffic and safety, and I guess with our department, to see if we want to consult and put the expense towards an outside agency.
Great, that's it. Thank you.
When we did the traffic study with Ardmore School, we had a room full of residents there, PTA members and everything, and we had a traffic study. We paid to have that done. And when we got the traffic study back, nobody liked it. So it works out better when you just do it with the people who are involved.
I agree.
Correct.
So that was a waste of
Money.
money.
Well, that's why I'm questioning this for the future for other schools.
We don't have any really set procedure.
Okay.
So, anyone else? Trustee Tucker.
How long was the trial period for this? Was that all last year? Is that what you just said? That they tried this
It was implemented last school
direction?
year.
Okay. It was
It
implemented
was implemented last school year. We couldn't enforce anything until an ordinance was put in place for those violations that did occur.
And what was the failure other than the letter of the direction the other way they had it?
I'm sorry?
We changed directions. What was the problem with the other directions? That kids were getting out on the wrong side? Is that what
Correct.
the reason? Okay.
And crossing vehicles.
And crossing vehicles across because we had it the wrong direction and not close to the
Correct.
school. Okay. So we were making it. Were the residents notified of these changes?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so all the residents knew we were changing the directions of the street last year before it got official, okay.
Anything else? Seeing none, roll call vote. No vote, it's just for information, I'm sorry. Okay, that'll be on our next meeting as a second reading. Item number 7 is the ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the final plat of re-subdivision for property located at 219 South Monterey to be known as the Dome-1 re-subdivision. Manager Kenny.
Thank you, Your Honor. Petitioner is seeking re-subdivision of property on South Monterey into 2 lots under the administrative subdivision regulations of the Village of Villa Park. This request meets all the guidelines of the process, and staff recommends that the village president and board of trustees approve the ordinance. Approval will allow the construction of a new home on the south lot, while the existing home will remain on the north lot. Thank you.
Do I have a motion for the ordinance? Trustee Wagner?
I'd like to make that motion.
Do I have a second? Trustee Kazone?
I'll make that second.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Tucker?
My understanding is that if we do not rezone, that we couldn't put a house on that south lot because the property's not big enough to do it?
Director Grill from Community Development would be glad to answer that question.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the full question.
My question is, if we do not rezone or divide the property, the south lot isn't big enough to put a house on it without doing that, correct?
Well, there's only one lot without the subdivision, and you would not be able to put another house on that lot because we only allow one principal structure per lot.
Okay, right now, it's only one lot? Okay, so by doing this, we make it 2 lots, is what you're saying?
Correct.
So that, okay.
They can build a house on the lot.
So they can build a house on the lot. So is that the south lot gonna be big enough to build a house on? Because it
Yes.
looks awful small.
Well,
In the
the
diagram.
particular zoning district that it's in allows a lot width of 50 feet, and it's 51,
Okay.
and a lot depth of 135 feet, and this is 300 and something, and a minimum square footage of 10,000 square feet, which this is well in excess of.
Okay, it just looked kind of small, that's all, the vision of what it was doing, it's scaled, okay.
Any other questions? Trustee Kazal?
Yeah, Patrick, on the plat that we're given, it shows lot 1 and then lot 2. Are those getting combined and then divided, or is it just the division of lot 1 on the plat?
I guess I'm not sure exactly what you're...
After the division.
After the,
Right,
oh, okay.
yes.
All right, now I get it. Okay, thank you. Now I
Otherwise,
get
it'd
it.
be a 25-foot lot.
Correct.
Okay.
Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes,
Trustee Salella?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Wolfus?
Yes. Item 8 is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a contract with A-Lamp Concrete Contractors for the 2nd Avenue Combined Sewer Separation Project in the amount of $692,888. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. Staff proposes street improvements and combined sewer separation on 2nd Avenue from Holly Court to Division Street. The village will receive up to $549,000 in grant funds for construction from a Community Development Disaster Recovery Grant. A-Lamp Concrete Contractors, Inc. of Schaumburg, Illinois, submitted the lowest responsible bid in the amount of $692,888. Funds will be taken from the Street Improvement Fund, bond account 6502032299, and non-bond account 6502102299, and the Water Supply Fund 8250202401, and the Wastewater Fund Separation Fund account number 8350204441, and the utility sales tax would pay for any non-grant eligible underground utility costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
We have a motion for the resolution. Trustee Wagner.
I'd like to make that motion.
Trustee Yellow.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Tucker.
I have a question. On the way it's stated, are they only handling the combined sewer and separation project, or are they handling the streets too after it's done?
Directors, I guess, to Skellis. I'm sure the answer is going to be the streets too. So,
Because it's not stated that way.
yeah.
It-
The contract, the work includes road work and underground utility work, so yes, pavement work is included. in
The
contract.
pavement's included with it? Okay,
Yes.
because the contract didn't, it sort of looks like we're just doing the combined sewer, giving them that contract, and then afterwards we have to come back to do the street one. This is a combined together?
Originally, that's how it was budgeted, but when we approached the county on combining the two, they said yes, and we were able to combine the two into one work effort.
Okay.
In the old days, we weren't able to combine, if I
That's
remember right.
correct. In the
So,
old days, we were not allowed to
but
do
in the
that.
last few years, it's changed.
And it is also grant eligible, which is the
Right.
bonus.
That's really great. So, okay, any other questions? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Salella?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
President Wolfus?
Yes. Item 9 is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the village manager's employment contract. Do I have a motion for the resolution?
Make the motion.
Trustee Ciela and Trustee Kazone?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Aiello?
No.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Salella?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Present.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
President Wolfus?
Yes. Next is item 10, is a public comment on non-agenda items. So if anyone from the public would like to make any comments on anything that's not listed on the agenda?
Just on the agenda item?
No, and you can do anyone now. Non-agenda,
Nothing?
you have nothing at all?
No, I'm just gonna show up where I'll
Okay.
visit you guys.
Okay, well, welcome. Okay. Next there, we have the village clerk's report.
No report tonight, thank you.
Okay, trustees report, we'll start on my right. Trustee Ciela,
No report this evening.
trustee Kazone,
Just one thing, the Community Pride Commission is meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock up here in our chambers. Short meetings, last about half hour, so if you're interested in either joining the commission or would like to see what is upcoming with the Pride Commission, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Meetings are about half hour long. That's it.
trustee Case,
Nothing tonight.
trustee Ella,
No.
trustee Tucker.
I just want to remind people to go by the butterfly gardens. They're beautiful, and it won't be long until they won't be there anymore. So if you haven't checked it and it's cooling down, check out the butterfly gardens on the Great Western. I also want to remind people to invite them to join the Community Pride Commission on August 12th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in front of Village Hall, and come out and show your art ability on the sidewalks. I'm looking forward to seeing all the beautiful artwork that the kids will come out to do. And my understanding is that our police chief will be grilling that day hot dogs. So you can come out and see the famous Chief Lay do the grilling work. Don't forget that the Kiwanis concerts may end on Wednesday, but we still have continued summer concerts at Cortese Park on Thursday nights, starting in August at 6:30. And the VFW will be supplying food at 6 p.m. for some cost. I understand, I'm probably very reasonable cost. So come support the VFW and their efforts, because I know that they use their funding for several good causes in town, so come out and support them. And that is all I have.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Wagner?
Thank you, President Bolfus. Just want to let members of the public know that the Environmental Concerns Commission will be meeting this coming Thursday here at Village Hall at 7 p.m. And they are in need of commissioners. They're looking for 3 commissioners on their commission. And just wanted to say kudos to the Garden Club on a very successful garden walk. Their monthly meeting will be tomorrow, Tuesday, July 24th, at the Community Rec Building at 7:30 p.m. And they have a speaker on backyard natural areas. It should be an interesting program. And on Saturday, I attended a meeting of the DuPage Rail Safety Council, and I know that former trustee John Davis was very involved in that group, and it was a very interesting meeting. It was good to know that issues involving trespass suicides has dropped, and partly is due to the education process for Metro employees. They credit in part to that. And they are going to be holding their biannual conference, which will be on the, let's see here, on Saturday, September 29th. It'll be at the Drake Hotel in Oak Brook, and their keynote speaker is going to be the Ronald Battery, who is the administrator for the Federal Railroad Administration. So it should be a very interesting conference. And that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. President's report, I just got a couple items. First, I want to remind everybody to set your calendar for Brewfest, which is on September 29th. We had a great time last year. We had a nice warm day to do it last year. To get more information, you can go to villaparkbrewfest.com/tickets. And that's on, hopefully we'll have another nice event for that. I also wanted to mention that back on July 10th, I had an opportunity to go to the dedication program for DUCON, our new emergency dispatch center that's just opening up on County Farm Road in the complex down there across the street from the jail and the county building. Quite an impressive tour. I think there's 44 communities, police departments and fire departments that are part of this, and it's quite an impressive building to have an opportunity to go through. That place is hardened to withstand an F5 tornado. It's got 12-inch thick concrete reinforced walls and redundant systems. And our chiefs were there. Our tech guy was there, Brian, and he was really excited when he saw all the tech that was going on in there. So that was really kind of nice to see. It's not, it's not open for the public, but I'm glad I had an opportunity to do that to represent the village for you. So, and the other thing I only just want to mention is we have Coffee with the Board is scheduled for August 4th at 9 o'clock and in the room up here just beside this wall in Village Hall. And that'll be on August 4th. And then our next scheduled board meeting is here on August 13th at 7 p.m. right here in this room. With that, we'll go over to the manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just want to remind everyone that this Wednesday is the last Kiwanis concert at the gazebo, and then the week after there'll be the first Thursday concerts at the Cortese Veterans Memorial Park at 6:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and we'll move on to the next item, which is executive session. That would be 5 ILCS 120/2C1, 120/2C2, C5, C6, C11, and C21. Have a motion for executive session.
President Wolfus, I'd like to make that motion.
Trustee Randy, do you have a second? Trustee Ayala?
Yes. Second.
All in favor? Well, let's have a roll call vote, please. Roll call.
Okay, Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Silella?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
President Volkes?
Yes. With that, we're going to go into executive session, and we will not be coming back. Have a good weekend.